Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for being here tonight. Tonight, we're going to talk about Facebook training and a couple different things that we've learned from Jim Lupkin and how we've already put it into practice and some of the different experiences that we have all been doing. I think we're probably about 50% of who's on the call right now as to who has used the Facebook training and who's brand new to it. So we're going to get a nice little combination of everybody. But before we do that, first of all, I want to thank you guys for being on the call tonight. Appreciate your guys' time. Your time is always precious. And second, I just picked up my 10X book. Have you guys all read the 10X book or seen it by Grant Cardone?
No.
All right, great book. Easy read. He asks a lot of questions and exercises like Jim does. But real quick, I want to go ahead and read this. One question that I've received over the years is exactly how much action is necessary to create success? Not surprisingly, everyone is looking for the secret shortcut. And equally unsurprising is the following fact. There are no shortcuts. The more action you take, the better your chances are of getting a break. Disciplined, consistent, and persistent actions are more of determining factor in the creation of success than any other combination of things. Understanding how to calculate and then take the right amount of action is more important than your concept, idea, invention, or business plan. Most people fail only because they are operating at the wrong degree of action. To simplify action, we are going to break down your choices into 4 simple categories or degrees of actions. Your 4 choices are 1, do nothing, 2, retreat, 3, take normal levels of action, 4, take massive action. So I jumped into this book and I was looking for a little quote, which Grant does not do, and that just kind of fell right in front of me. And I'm like, well, that's perfect because that's what this is all about right now is massive action. So did you guys like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead and unmute if you guys don't have a lot of background. We're going to keep this very conversational tonight. Grant puts it out there. Jim puts it out there. Everybody puts it out there. It's all about numbers. And as long as you're doing the correct numbers, you're going to receive and have that success. And I love that Jim in his first video talks, I think it's his first video, maybe it's coming up, but he talks about keeping track of your numbers. And he told us, I think on the last one, that if he saw our tracking sheet and we either had success or didn't have the success that we wanted, he would be able to pinpoint it without a question. And it's all going to come down to the numbers and where everything falls in line. So let's kind of chat a little bit. This is the beginning of our second week. Like I said, half of you have gone through the training already. Half of you have not. Let's talk about, for those that have gone through the training, how are you doing kind of either from where we started in January and continuing, or did you take a break and are coming back in? And how do you feel about that? Or have you been consistent throughout this entire time since January?
Share.
Go, Fiona.
So, those of you guys who know me know that I sort of hit the ground running and had this massive result. And then I was just talking to Stephanie today. I've had 2 weeks where I don't know what happened. Just bubble bust, something happened. I don't know what it is. I will say I just enrolled with the President PAC, so it's over, whatever it was. Thanks, Stephanie. And I just got another consultant. My brother just made consultant.
Woo, congratulations.
Something happened where I don't know that I was necessarily not taking action, but I was definitely approaching it with a different energy. And as that energy got lower, if I'm being honest with myself, the numbers, it goes back to the numbers because it's a law of average. If I was taking the same actions that I had been taking with the same energy and the same effort, I really don't know that, well, actually, I don't know. I was still getting activity. I was still meeting with people. It was me. I was killing the deals. But the thing I'm grateful for is that, now that my energy is kind of back there, the conversations I'm having on Facebook again today, they're back. Okay, so it's kind of a relief because I was kind of wondering what happened, but it's numbers, because it's numbers. So I'll probably have like a dry spell because my funnel from the last 2 weeks is really going to be kind of spotty. So I would not be surprised if I don't see it a little bit
Well,
here.
let's not put that out there, Fiona. You might surprise yourself because you really have had very consistent actions since you started. And what was that, October?
Yeah.
Yeah. You've been very consistent and hot since then. And we all have the ups and downs. We all have those dry spell moments, but that's okay. It's no problem. They come back. You have to ignite yourself or allow someone else to ignite you. That's all that is. But you haven't really stopped. You've been out there. You've been posting. You've been visible. You've been doing everything. You just weren't doing it at the same consistency and same speed as you had been when you first started.
Right.
But don't worry about that.
And that's what the result is. So, I mean, I think that's the thing, is that the numbers are huge. Like if you want a 1 in 10 result, you have to put in the 1 in 10 work.
Yeah. And you might be amazed, and I want to hear from you either in a couple of days or next week as to, oh my gosh, it just keeps going. Here's another one. Because now you've put it out to the universe. And so now you've told that universe, I don't want to stop. I want to stay at that level that I was at. What do I need to do? I'm doing it. Okay, where are the rewards?
Yeah.
So keep the positive, keep the mindset. Your funnel is large. You just need to keep putting more in it. All right, awesome. Okay, good. Thank you so much, Fiona. Hi, Stacia.
Hi.
One other person that's been kind of going through the Facebook training as to what you've experienced from January until now, kind of your situation.
You talking to me?
Anyone? Go ahead, Stacia. Stacia's on a roll right now as well. And
I don't have anybody from Facebook.
I'll just kind of give you a little intro. Stacia's actually been doing the product, I think, longer than I have, but then just came to our team last year. And she actually came to our team when she saw the incomes that we were actually earning. She's like, well, wait a minute. I want to be a part of that. And then she kind of continued the way she had been for those 5 years that she'd been doing it. But all of a sudden, and I think it was probably the beginning of February, it was after NYKO, she had that mind shift of, okay, I'm ready, and I'm ready to get my body in check. She did Growth U. I'm ready to get my mind in check. And now she's just kind of exploding. We enrolled someone on a hot little girl that we're friends with on a Prezi on Sunday, and she's enrolling her son and another friend tonight. So, Stacia, what's going on? What happened? Where's the difference?
I'm waiting for her to call me. What's going on? What's different? Mindset.
Okay.
Decided to make a change. It's literally just a mind shift, I think. Getting some health news that was scary, and just making that mind shift to say, okay, time to get off your butt and get doing what you need to do. And I have a goal to make a lot of money this year, so I gotta get busy.
Good. And that's exactly what Jim talks about, that we will be contacted by people when they have a life situation. And it may or may not be a scare. It may just be a moment. It may be summer is coming and I'm going on a trip and I'm going to look like this, or they got to pay some bills. Like I was talking to you, Fiona. That's what drives me, is when I know that I have to pay something and it's like, where's the money going to come from? Well, it's going to come from me. All right, bam, go into action then. And so it's that mind shift that we all just need. All right, excellent. Thank you so much, Stacia. Journey, Beth, or Bryce, do you guys want to throw anything in? Go ahead, Bryce.
I got it. You see me reaching for my mute button. I started the Facebook training in January, and then I fell off with that, and so this is my second time through it, getting back into it, and just partly been getting myself going again, get myself out, posting again, and talking to people. So even like over the last 2 days, I've introduced three people to the groups, and Stephanie, you posted earlier, maybe yesterday, that you had a chance meeting with somebody and brought them to the group. And today we had our air conditioner checked, and the guy was like, "Hey, don't you do personal training?" I was like, "Yeah, I do that." He's like, "Oh, I thought that, because I thought I remember being here before, but I'm really looking to try and maybe get into some of that." And I said, he's like, "I want to lose 50 pounds over the next 3 months." I said, "Well, that's pretty aggressive, but it's not impossible. But nutrition is a big part of that." And I said, "So I also do health and wellness coaching. I partner with a company, so that's the guy that I plugged into the groups today." So those chance meetings happening, and so it's been good to be back involved again. Now, as far as like being out and doing the Facebook numbers and the FP training, I honestly haven't done much with that. I'm high in study mode. I'm taking my PT recertification test in 10 days. So I've been studying a lot for that. So I've not been doing a whole lot of the Jim Lumpkin Facebook training stuff right now, but I am trying to keep plugged in. So That's where I am right now.
Awesome. Good, Bryce. And those chance meetings, as you know, they're not chance meetings. I mean, we talk about that all the time. We are brought relationships. When we're ready or they're ready, then we have that meeting of the mind, and God brings them to us. And so that's what's going to happen. And now that you're back, not 100%, and that's okay. Trust me. We all have our little moments where we have to do regular life. But when you tell the universe that you are ready, that's when these things happen. And then as soon as you go back 100%, like you were last year, that's when everything's going to just really start kicking in. What I'm going to recommend to Bryce, as well as anyone else that has a super, super, super busy life, the one reason, and Aaron, I know you do as well, the one reason that this Facebook training is so important is because you can easily fit it in. And you can fit in 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, 5 minutes there, not get off track at all. Stay consistent whenever you find those 5 minutes. And Jim sets it up that way. So he'll tell you, set your timer for 5 minutes, morning, afternoon, and evening, and go in and like and comment on as many posts as you can do. So numbers, massive numbers, like, comment. And his suggestion is only to comment when you have something to say. Now, as Fiona asked on that call, well, what does that mean? Does that mean congratulations, good job? Does that count? And of course that counts. If you want to say something, then you comment. If you really don't want to say anything and you just want to then like and go through all of them. And that's going to bring you a closer relationship to these people. Obviously, the private messaging that we do is what builds the relationship, but at least they're going to feel and know that you're paying attention to them and that you're reading their posts. And when you do have that conversation, you can talk about what's been going on in their lives. So try that, Bryce. Just throw it in the morning and so on. And he talks about each friend request taking 1 minute. So take 10 minutes and friend request as many people as you can get in during that time. In the beginning, it's going to take you longer to figure it out because you're kind of checking out their profile, making sure that's someone that you want to work with, and then you're sending them a private message. So for me, it's been taking probably about 3 to 5 minutes to do each person. But if you have 10 to 15 minutes, you can get 3 to 5 people in there, which is much more than 0.
Yeah, I've been working hard at actually just doing the friend requests, and so putting about 4 or 5 of those out a day. And my friend list has grown probably by about 50 people over the last couple months.
Right.
And so that's been a real good thing. And so just keeping track of those people a little bit, trying to be a little bit better about that. And, doing those little small, being intentional, 2 or 3 minutes. I got a moment. I'll look. And then I go on, the kid needs my attention, So
right.
I am doing those things, even though I'm not necessarily doing it in the way that Jim is.
Okay, perfect. So don't belittle that at all, because then you're staying consistent, and you've been consistent. If you're doing that, I understand you've been consistent. You've just been consistent with those numbers. And really, truly, that's what matters until you can get to the numbers that you want to. Just being consistent, getting comfortable with this, experimenting with it so that you can get faster and then do more people all at the same time. I think that's fabulous, Bryce. Congratulations with that. All right, so to kind of backtrack a little bit for those of you that are really kind of coming into this Facebook training for the first time, and Anna, thank you for joining. Anna is as well. I'm not going to go over Jim's teachings because you guys can watch those videos, and he's going to go over very specific steps. He is ABC 1, 2, 3 more than you have ever learned how to do ABC 1, 2, 3. And so if you watch those videos, which just so you know, each of them are an hour and 40 minutes, except for the last one, but you can pause them, restart them. So get as much time as you can get. He will tell you exactly what to do and how much time to spend doing it and who to connect, how to graph search, who to look for, and so on. So we'll kind of put that aside and let you do that. But I want to talk about your situations. I want to have us come together so that we can talk through the good stuff, the frustrating parts, the bragging moments, what's been going on, and then kind of give some new ideas as to the importance of each of those weeks. The last week, he really discussed building relationships. And overall, that's the most important thing about doing this program, as well as network marketing and life. And you build relationships by friend requesting people. We talked about it last week that you're probably going to be friend requesting people that you don't know, because you probably have already friend requested people that you do know, or some of you, and I think it was Fiona actually that pointed out, she was surprised at how many friends she was not friends with prior to this program. Was that you, Fiona?
Yeah. Especially like from high school and just people that go to school with my kids. You know, I mean, we volunteer all the time doing all kinds of different stuff. And so, you know, you're talking to people all the time, but you're not necessarily friends. So that was kind of interesting for me.
Right. And have you guys, we're busy and everyone else is really busy, but have you guys been a little surprised as to how much the friends from Facebook know about you? And you're like, oh yeah, that's right, I posted that. Or they'll come up and make comments. So it's really important that we live out loud. And you know, you might need to talk to your spouse. Brad's not always thrilled as to how much I put out on Facebook and how much of our life is lived out loud. But, you know, this is our future. This is our children's future. This is what's going to give us our goals. And I need people to know who we are. And it's all about love, trust, and respect. But we also need the social proof. So, you know, go ahead. If you see each other's posts, make comments, like them, state your stories as much as possible. But we need to reach out to new people and to bring that in. And as you guys are seeing with all these free enrollments that the company is constantly giving us, you've got to have that funnel ready to go, because we get anywhere from 24 hours to 3 hours, maybe even sometimes 2 hours. And if your funnel is full enough for that moment, I should say, then you'll be able to reach out to those people really super fast and say, hey, $29 off tonight, ready to get started? Some will say yes, some won't respond, and some will be, I need more information or more time. But those that say yes, perfect. And when you have enough of them, I've also started to get to the point by doing all this massive action, and trust me, my massive action is not where Jim wants it to be, but it's what I can handle. But it's been a huge, huge amount, much more than before. I have, let's see, where are these? I've got 4 enrollment forms already filled out. And we're just waiting for that moment for them to tell me yes. And I taught Stacia how to do that as well. It's like, if you're waiting for a free enrollment, or this person needs a discount, which hopefully we're not enrolling that many people that need a free enrollment, because we want them to be able to afford next month and the following month and so on. But some people just need to be able to jump over the ledge for a different reason, and saving money is what does that. Have your funnel filled with those people so that you can just rock that out. $29 off today, $58 off today. You guys ready? And then keep filling those out. Keep having those people, as well as enrolling them at that moment. But the company's been so generous with giving us those free enrollments multiple times throughout the week. We need to use them and put them to use. Connecting. Are you guys finding that because of the Facebook training, either the book or the phone calls or the videos that we've done, it's easier for you to connect in person with people?
Yeah, you know what's funny too, though, is that I find that I'm meeting more people in person and then Facebook friending them.
Perfect.
It's kind of almost the opposite now, which is not the way I usually normally would have operated, but I find myself putting myself in more situations. Like I'm going out more, I'm doing more network meetings. I'm like, I have to say, I feel guilty saying this, but like I would just go pick up my kids from practice. I wouldn't go hang out for like the 15 minutes while they finished. Like now I walk there half an hour early so that I've got the 15, 20 minutes of time to work with, you know, and I brought my little thing. So I mean, I think Facebook's amazing on the front end, the back end, the side end. I mean, it's just powerful because it's a machine that is 24/7. So you can communicate with people, but also be broadcasting what you want them to see.
Right. That's exactly it, Fiona. I'm so proud of you because that's really, truly what this is about. It's not sitting behind your computer and Facebook friends, do post. It's about living a life that other people are going to have a conversation with you about, but then you can also have conversations with them about their lives, which is more important, of course. And so when they see you or you see them, you can bring something up that came out of Facebook that you may not have found out about by just picking up your kids at school. So it is that huge tool that allows us to dive into people's lives so that we can start asking more questions and ultimately build a relationship that also builds a business at the same time. So yay, I'm excited about that. That's truly what this is about. He brought up building with people locally. That is extremely important. And I like what he said about that. It's not necessarily so that we can meet with them or so that, you know, we have a local team, but it's from their perspective of because we are local, they feel more of a connection to you. So it's all about making them more comfortable. Not necessarily has to go that way, but he did bring up that term. If you want to graph search for people in your area. You know, there's different ways to look. And Annie, if you guys want to look at Annie's live video that she did earlier today, did you guys see that about friend requesting? And she's not on tonight, but she ran into situations of a lot of men friend requesting her and expecting a different type of relationship than she was expecting. And so now she's been kind of able to hone down quite a bit as to, well, who's serious about having a business relationship with her or even just a friendship? And I think it's a very powerful video because a lot of us have come across that as well. But also taking away the men portion of that, it's bringing you into real situations of people that have larger networks, people that post, people that are friendly, people that are motivational, people that are supportive. Why are we messing around with people that don't have any of those things? If we're going to try and build a business with these people that we don't know right now, why you want to always go back to that boardroom table of if you could pick the 10 people who are going to be the VIPs or the VPs in your office, you're going to hand pick them to run your company, right? You got to do the same thing on Facebook and hand pick those people that you actually want to work with and do a business with. So it is real important for us to take a look at certain things, how many friends they have, what type of posts they're doing, make sure they're not already in Isogenics. I'm not afraid at all to work with people that are in other companies, but we don't want to friend a bunch of Isogenics people. Let's see. Oh, and you know what's really interesting? Okay, so I'm going to put Aaron on the spot right now. Thanks, Aaron. So Aaron's been in network marketing for 10 years, and as well as his mom. They started off in Amway, and then they've gone to another nutritional company, and Aaron found me on Facebook. And Aaron found me by doing the different things that Jim has taught us to do. So Aaron, thank you so much because you're just perfect to be here. Aaron, of course, promoted out to consultant last night. He started less than 2 weeks ago. So he's just following the system just correctly, doing it absolutely. But the difference is is, and Aaron hadn't made money in the other companies. And as of last night, he made $200. And Aaron, you did cycle. So you actually have made that $204.
Awesome.
And Aaron's excited. He's like, this is great. I've never made money in all these other companies that I've been a part of.
Oh my God, strap on
I
because
can't
it
believe
gets
that.
good.
And so this is just a perfect example of I did what Jim taught me to do, and Aaron found me, and now Aaron's doing exactly what the company tells you to do, and bam, there it is. I have no doubt that Aaron's going to hit every single crystal rank, and he's going to receive all of those bonuses. And he's already talking about his other friends that are in network marketing, and one wants to take over Indiana of that person being on stage. We can make all this happen. And all of this has just been a process, but it hasn't been it's a good process though, isn't it, Aaron? It's very simple and easy and understandable, correct?
Yes, it's been fun.
All
Can
right,
you guys quickly describe like the scenario, like quickly describe how that relationship happened?
Sure, Aaron, do you want to?
Yeah. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'd been, I don't know, late at night getting on the internet looking for multi-level marketing businesses, and Isogenics came up. I'd never heard of it, and I literally called Isogenics. I called the corporation one day. Me and the family were driving on our day off, and I was on the phone. I just called Isogenics and asked, how do I get involved? And they said I had to find a distributor or an upline, and I didn't have one. And they suggested that I go to some of the Facebook pages, and I'm still learning how to do Facebook. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm really kind of behind on all that stuff. But I found Stephanie, and I sent her a message, and she responded. And I think we played phone tag a few times, and that was pretty much it. I knew I wanted to. I was excited. I liked what I saw of Stephanie's attitude and the message and the way she conducts herself, and I wanted to jump on her team right away.
Welcome.
So Aaron, these are a lot of our superstars, and of course we put you right into that category. Aaron is a blessing. I mean, he's absolutely a blessing, and I'm extremely grateful for all of that. And it truly came from Jim's process. I stemmed from Jim's process, and we brought Jim 60 people. The second time around, we have 51 people in this Facebook group, and now he's just about ready to launch his next platform. So whoever wants to join in that, we'll continue to talk about that more. But I mean, you can see that if you stay consistent and you stay determined and motivated, and you always just do what they suggest to do, what happens? I mean, these are real life scenarios, which is absolutely beautiful. So thank you for that, Aaron. I appreciate that, and you. All right, so what he talked about is to do a minimum of 10 friend requests a day. Go back as to his suggestions for last week. This week, let's continue on and, read like another 2 to 3 chapters, do the next chapter workbook, or go back to last week's if you haven't finished that yet. This group is not about making sure things get on time. It's about doing it consistently and just doing it, experimenting, trying new things, and being consistent with that. So don't worry if you fall behind. We're not doing day 1, 2, 3, anything like that. I would suggest, Stacia, that you are on at least chapter 3 at this moment, and then chapter 2 of the workbook. But if you're not, no big deal. The biggest thing is to just fall in love with this process. Fall in love with Facebook. Like Fiona pointed out, this tool, this machine that is operating and giving us all kinds of opportunities, because you're going to meet people in person and then connect with them on Facebook, and then put them in the product group and train them and coach them, keep them supported, motivated. Or you're going to meet them on Facebook and continue to do that. Or you meet them on Facebook and you meet in person. It doesn't matter. Facebook is just a portion of our tool as to how we work with each other, and it's 24 hours, 7 days a week. Be consistent, do every day, and fill in your numbers. So we have to stay accountable. And that's the biggest piece about all of this. Guys, if you didn't write down your numbers last week, write down your numbers as to where you are and start looking at them every single week, maybe using Tuesday nights as your time period so that you can really see it. You want to see the growth, but you also need and want to see the results. And so look at, you need to know your number of personally enrolled. I would look at yours as well as your all the members in your team that are a part of your tree. Look at the number of people in your product page. Look at the number of people in the business page. Look at your number of personal friends on your wall. And write each of those down and watch them increase. And as far as the product pages, we're working that together. So if our product or our business pages don't increase, then shame on us because we're doing that one together. Product group we're doing together. Your personal friends, of course, are yours. Get those numbers up so that the funnel's always full, but we also need social proof. And we're going to talk about groups next week. But real quick, I think he talks about it next week, but some of you guys have your own product and business groups. He talked about changing it either to public or closed and private versus secret. That has been another huge blessing to change that. We have all kinds of people requesting to come in. I do research them. I am very picky about who we let into the group as far as strangers go. So just so you know, I'm not letting every single person in, and not everyone's real. There's a lot of hackers and different things going on. So I make sure that they're real people. I make sure that they really truly have an interest. And if so, then we add them. But what I'm noticing is we're starting to get more people who have a friend in the group. So that means that when their friend, let's just say Fiona, your friends are looking at your Facebook group, on the right-hand side, it will say groups that you're involved with or groups you may enjoy. If your friend sees that and is intrigued, your friend may try to join. And if that's the case, I'm going to immediately let you know. If you're not already an admin in the group, that's one way you'll know if you're an admin. If you're not an admin, we'll just let you know, hey, so-and-so wants to join our group. Go ahead and welcome them in. So if you guys want to start hashtagging, like Game Changers Healthy Living or your group, Legacy Leaders, whatever it is, start hashtagging that, putting that in there so you can attract more attention and bring more people to these groups. So every day I'm getting at least 1 to 3 people in both groups wanting to come in and join. Again, not all are real, but at least we're having that attention. So change from secret to closed/private and then start hashtagging it, because that's a huge way of building. And we've been building the UK doing this.
Stephanie, sorry. So when you're saying hashtagging, you're hashtagging Game Changers Healthy Living in your personal posts?
Correct.
Okay.
The appropriate ones.
Okay.
And we're going to end here in just a second. So yes, I am. So if you guys have any questions about that, do a post or a private message me or something, and we'll talk more about it. But we'll go ahead and close so that we don't get cut off. I want to thank you guys so much for tonight, all of your attention, your questions, being a part of this, and all of your feedback. This is amazing, and it's such a beautiful, beautiful way of growth, and especially doing it together. So thanks, everyone. You guys all have a great night. We'll continue to talk more about everything.